A man falls into the Detroit River.
Iron River Powerball winner. I'm Melissa Lambert.
And I'm Dane Wormlinger, and this is your Public Eye News. A Green Bay man has been treated for his injuries he sustained after his snowmobile collided with a car in Ontonagon County. The Ontonagon County Sheriff's Department reports this happened Tuesday afternoon around 12:45 p.m. on Aspen Lane in Greenland Township. Mark Wassey, the snowmobile driver, failed to yield the right-of-way while crossing the road. The oncoming car, driven by Queen Westerinen of Ontonagon, was unable to stop for the snowmobile. Wassey was treated for a leg injury while Westerinen was not injured. And the Alger County Sheriff's Department is now issuing a warning to those in the Munising Bay area. Authorities say a fishing boat left the bay early Wednesday morning, which caused ice to break up in the area. They are now warning those in the area to be cautious of the now open water.
Ice fishing enthusiasts in the Upper Peninsula may be getting a surprise during their fishing efforts this winter, but the surprise won't be on their hooks. The Department of Natural Resources is looking to collect data from anglers to determine future fishing regulations. DNR officials said any information on measuring and weighing fish to finding out how long certain people have fished in an area will be helpful in crafting these regulations. Creel clerks plan on interviewing those fishing in Munising, O'Train, Marquette, Keweenaw Bay, and Lake Gogebic. And Powerball tickets are all the rage this season, but an Iron River man thought he was being tricked by a coworker when she told him he'd won $1 million. However, 56-year-old Mike Payne's ticket did in fact match the winning numbers in last Wednesday's drawing. He bought his winning ticket at the Freedom Value Center in Iron Mountain, where he said he, quote, couldn't pass up a chance to be a billionaire, end quote. Payne also said he has a few more years of work left and that he will use the money to make his life and retirement more comfortable.
Most of Detroit's public schools were closed Wednesday due to teacher absences. Disgruntled educators stepped up efforts to protest the governor's plans for the district. According to Ann Mitchell, a spokeswoman of the Detroit Federation of Teachers, said the massive sick-out was timed to coincide with President Barack Obama's planned visit to the city. Mitchell said that, quote, we really need someone to help focus on the schools, end quote. Mayor Mike Dugan has called for teachers to stop staging the sick-outs and return to their classrooms while state legislatures work on solutions to the district's financial crisis. Mayor Dugan said that, quote, frustrations are legitimate, but the solution is not to send the kids home, end quote. And speaking of Detroit, a man fell into the Detroit River outside the Cobo Center at around 10:30 a.m. today. Cobo Center security said that they saw him walking on the ice and then watched him fall through. The Cobo Center called for help. A Coast Guard cutter ship, the Hollyhock, was nearby and responded. The man who fell through the ice was rescued by the Coast Guard. His condition is currently unknown. And after the break, we'll be back with your weather and national and international news. Stay tuned.
It's one of the world's most popular operas, Verdi's Il Trovatore. A twisted tale of love, obsession, and gypsy secrets, filled with glorious music. Thrill to the incomparable Anna Netrebko, Young-Hoon Lee, Dmitry Hvorostovsky, and Delora Zajic in David McVicker's dynamic production. Il Trovatore, only on Great Performances at the Met.
Friday evening at 9 on Public TV 13.
And welcome back. Attorney General Loretta Lynch has defended President Barack Obama's executive actions concerning gun control before Congress today. She told the lawmakers that Obama's steps were not only lawful, but they were common sense. 2 weeks ago, Obama's announcement received immediate attacks by a top Republican who said this was an infringement of the Second Amendment. Obama's proposal increases the number of FBI personnel who process background checks from working 17 hours daily to a full 24. Both political parties are ready to make gun control a hot-button topic in the current election. And GOP presidential candidate Donald Trump has even more life in his campaign today now that he's picked up a major endorsement. Craig Boswell has the latest from Washington, D.C.
Donald Trump greeted a large crowd in Norwalk, Iowa this morning looking for support less than 2 weeks before the state's caucus.
If we win Iowa, we're going to run the table. We may not lose a state.
Trump's campaign for the GOP presidential nomination got a big boost on Tuesday when Sarah Palin endorsed him.
Sarah came along and she said, we love what's happening. It's a movement.
Palin supported Ted Cruz when he ran for the Senate in 2012, and Cruz says he will always remain a big fan of the former Alaska governor. Cruz was out campaigning in New Hampshire this morning and zeroed in on what he would do if elected.
The first thing I intend to do is rescind every single illegal and unconstitutional executive action taken by this president.
On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton is spending most of the day fundraising. She holds a sizable lead in the national polls over Bernie Sanders, but the Vermont senator is ahead in New Hampshire and hopes for a good turnout in Iowa as well. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
Back in September of 2004, Hurricane Ivan whipped through the state of Louisiana and caused a decade-old oil leak that is still affecting the surrounding area today. William Puce, president of Taylor Energy, stationed out of Baton Rouge, told a gathering of people on Wednesday that the company cares very deeply about the environment. The public meeting at an LSU research center is a requirement of a court settlement that Taylor Energy reached in September with environmental groups, which accused the company of withholding information about the leak. Federal regulators believe oil is still coming out of the site. Taylor Energy says that it spent more than $480 million on its efforts to stop the leak. And Michigan's governor vows to do whatever it takes to end Flint's water emergency. Rick Snyder apologized Tuesday for the government's response in his State of the State address. Adriana Diaz is in Flint, where the governor is deploying more than 100 additional National Guard members.
Hey! Ho, ho! Snyder's got to go!
Protesters outside Michigan State House endured below freezing temperatures as they called for the governor's resignation Tuesday night.
Snyder's got to go!
I am sorry, and I will fix it.
Inside, Michigan Governor Rick Snyder began his address with a renewed apology to the people of Flint.
Government failed you, federal, state, and local leaders, by breaking the trust you placed in us.
He also had a message for the agencies he said contributed to the city's water disaster.
Let me be perfectly clear to all of state government. In situations like this, they must come to my desk immediately. No delays, no excuses, period.
Snyder says the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality and the federal EPA didn't properly address the problem of lead-contaminated water when they learned about it early last year.
The governor didn't do his job. He's been lying all along.
Before protesting at the State House, Tony and Leah Palladino showed us their corroded pipes.
It's almost like we're in a third world country. We got filters that don't work. I don't care what they say, people. These filters, they do not work.
Governor Snyder is now the target of several class action lawsuits. The latest, filed Tuesday, aims to stop Flint from all water shutoffs for people who haven't paid their bills. The governor's asking state legislators for $28.5 million in aid. As for the mayor, she was in Washington, D.C. yesterday and met with President Obama. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Flint, Michigan.
18 students and 2 teachers were killed in an attack by Islamic militants who stormed a university in northwestern Pakistan on Wednesday. The attack began shortly after classes started at the Baka Khan University, a town 21 miles outside of Peshawar. According to police, attackers climbed over the back walls of the school and shot at a security guard. They then made their way to the administration building and the male students' dorms. Troops cornered the attackers and killed all 4 of them after a few hours in battle. It is suspected that the school was targeted because it is named after a secular icon. And stay tuned because after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports.
Next time on Frontline.
This is a multi-billion-dollar-a-year industry.
The debate over supplements.
How could it be that you can sell something without any evidence that it's safe or effective?
They say their products will make you healthier, but critics say that many have fraudulent claims, could be dangerous, and should be regulated.
It almost takes a sacrificial lamb to die before the Food and Drug Administration can take any action.
Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Welcome back to your Public Eye News. My name is Dan Campen, and as you can see behind me on the campus of Northern Michigan University, it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and I suggest you get outside because those temperatures aren't going to stay warm for long. Currently it's sunny, temperature of 21 degrees, winds out of the north-northwest at 3 miles per hour, and a barometric pressure of 30.15 inches and falling. Tonight expect partly cloudy skies, a low of 4 degrees, and winds out of the west to southwest at 4 miles per hour. Tomorrow expect a cloudy sky with a high of 28 and winds out of the west to northwest at 7 miles per hour. And looking around the UP today in Sault Ste. Marie, it's 21 degrees and cloudy. And in Manistee, it's 17 degrees and partly sunny. Down in Escanaba, it's 21 degrees and sunny. And in Menominee, it is 19 degrees and sunny. Over in Iron Mountain, it's 20 degrees and sunny. In Ironwood, it's 19 degrees and cloudy. In Houghton, it's 22 degrees and sunny. And back here in Marquette, the sun is shining and it is 21 degrees. Let's take a look at your week ahead. As we step into the weekend, on Friday we can expect a high of 29, low of 22 with mostly sunny skies. On Saturday, expect a high of 32 and a low of 26 with mostly cloudy skies. And on Sunday, expect a high of 31, low of 21, and some snow showers. Well, Mark, I caught that Pistons and Golden State Warriors game last weekend, and they just played really well.
They did.
But I hear the owner has a play of his own.
Oh, you bet he does. Yes, the Detroit Pistons could be moving to downtown Detroit within the next coming years. The idea is still up in the air and up for grabs, and it's not likely to happen soon, but the winds of change are certainly coming. Detroit Pistons owner Tom Gores met this week with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to discuss any long-term plans Gores may have for a move downtown. Having a new arena might be a great thing for the Pistons, bringing in large crowds to support the team, as well as seeing the new arena. People certainly like the feeling of something new, and a new arena might be just the thing for the people of Detroit. Gores still is unsure of the move to downtown, and so are many others, but we will see what the future has in store for the Detroit Pistons. Last night, the Chicago Blackhawks won their game, making it a franchise record 12th straight win. The team has been celebrating with the little time they have before their next game. Patrick Kane had a goal and an assist, and the Blackhawks beat the Nashville Predators 4-1 last night, setting a new mark for a team with 3 Stanley Cup championships over the past 6 seasons. The Blackhawks have 4 games left before the All-Star break to get closer to the league record of 17 consecutive wins by the 1992-1993 Pittsburgh Penguins. Blackhawks get to test themselves Thursday night at Tampa Bay and then at Florida Friday night. And Josh Gordon applies to the NFL for reinstatement. The suspended Browns wide receiver applied to the league for reinstatement sometime this week. Gordon, who was banned for a year in February for multiple violations of the league's substance abuse policy, formally asked Commissioner Roger Goodell to allow him back. Gordon failed an alcohol test last year, wiping out the talented receiver's 2015 season. According to league policy, Gordon could apply in writing for the reinstatement within 60 days of the ending suspension. For Gordon to be reinstated, he will have to demonstrate sustained clarity during his suspension. Gordon will also be interviewed by a league's medical director and advisor who will make a recommendation for Goodell on Gordon's reinstatement. And it's a real shame what happened with Josh Gordon.
It sure
Maybe
is,
he
Mark.
didn't have enough religion.
Maybe he
with him.
didn't. But do you know who has a lot of religion in him? The Pope.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does. I like the Pope.
Have you ever wanted to be treated like the Pope? Soon, you may be able to own his car. One of the 2 Fiats used by Pope Francis during his September visit to Philadelphia is going up for auction as part of the City Auto Show on January 29th. Bids will be accepted in person and online. Proceeds will go to Select Archdiocese Ministries and the Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania. So what about that, guys?
I want the Pope's car.
Yeah, I want a Pope-mobile for myself.
I mean, how much do you think it'll go for?
Oh, you got the right people bidding on it.
He's a giving man.
$2
He is a giving man. Probably not for much. Probably less than what he bought it for, if he bought it for himself. You know what? I'm going to say he did.
And that's all the time we have for you today at Public Eye News. Tune in again tomorrow.
Discussion of the Pope.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.